Today I'm going to show you quickly how I make my own essential oil diffusers using fish tank pumps. There's several different ways you can do it. This is the way that I have found the best, and I make these little kits and just give them to people when they're sick with a little bottle of oil, and send them with my kids to college, and I actually use it in my own house. So best way, find a bottle with a cork. Doesn't matter. Usually I don't want them too big. This is small enough that it would work, but not if any smaller than this, then it won't work. This was 50 cents at a secondhand store. I ended up with 2 of them. Okay. You need some kind of a dropper bottle so that you can get the glass dropper off it. You don't need the bottle, you just need the dropper. So you get the glass chip dropper, you get the oxygen tubing from either a medical supply store, which is the clear, and if you don't mind the blue, you can go with a fish tank tubing. You can get several different types of fish tank bubblers. This one's just a smaller one. There's this kind that actually just plugs into the wall, but then that means you have a longer tube that you need to get to your bottle. There are, this is one where you can turn down and turn up the pressure, which I actually like, because if you need to do a whole apartment, you can turn it up if somebody, like one of your roommates, cooks fish or something. Or you could just have it in your room. If everybody else is sick, you can just turn it down and have it in your room, which I actually really like that. This one is actually one that was made for this purpose, but I have turned several of these kind in. I just screw in, you can see, whoever had it broke off their little holder and just put it at the secondhand store. So I just screwed in a little round hook metal screw thing, and that holds this glass diffuser. The tip broke, the kids knocked it over and it broke the tip, so that's why I don't like this kind personally, but I did like the pump because it has an on-off switch here, and it also has a low, medium, and high, similar to this one. This one is bigger and bulkier, this one is smaller. This one holds my diffuser bottle, which I have, but I actually like this way better because it transports. These break and are expensive to replace. These kind of bottles with the corks or whatever, I can replace anytime I want. So what I do is I get a Dremel or a drill bit. The Dremel came with this tool, and it's kind of a drill thing. It's pretty neat, and it's the perfect exact size to fit the fish tank tubing in. So what you do is you get a bottle, you get one with a cork, and then you drill an in and an out hole. You can see that this thing worked perfectly. It does make a little bit of a mess. You can see it kind of makes a mess, and if you go too fast, it can start a fire because of the friction. So just basically you just, you could put it in, drill, and it works great. I'm not going to show you because I want to do this quickly. So once you've got an in and an out, it fits in there, right? You take your tubing from the pump and you slide it down through one of the holes. You cut off I would do this. You don't have to do the second part, but cut off a smaller piece that will go as an out for the other hole. And I'm right-handed, so this is looking kind of awkward for me. But so you put those in through there. This is a coupler for an oxygen tank, fish tank, sorry. So you can, if you want, put that in the out, just as get it away more, kind of more like the tip of a regular diffuser. Anyway, you could stick that in the out, and then you push the one, this is going to be hard, through, and then you slide this on it. Once this is through, you can push it down enough, and you slide this on it so it looks like this. Once it looks like this, and it's slid through the cork, like right there, then you put the cork in the top of the glass jar. This was another glass jar I thought was really cute. It had a different kind of a cork on the top. This one is interesting because this tubing, the oxygen tubing, is a little bit thicker and actually kind of clogs this hole. But because the fish tank tubing is a little thinner, the air actually bubbles around and comes out the sides. So I've got my tip. I don't usually have it and you can see it's not quite in the oil, but when I turn it up, it will explode like that. So if you're going to use a jar without a cork, don't ever place it on a wood surface because the oils will ruin a finished surface. So you want to make sure you do it on a countertop or a marble or something that won't get destroyed. But I usually keep it up just a little bit. But if it's a lower volume one, that's a kind of a smaller one, then it won't put as much air out. So you have to kind of have it closer to the oil. This one you can turn up and down, like I said. So if I was going to get one for a student at college, I would probably get one that you can turn up and down, like this one, or one that has 3 volumes. I did have another dial one I ended up giving to my neighbor who was sick, and I just told her to go ahead and keep it. Actually, she gave it back, and I don't know who ended up. She ended up going to buy one at Walmart. She said they were only about $8, $9 at Walmart. She keeps one in her room all the time, and then she has this other one, the nebulizer, and I've shown this on a different video before. But if you can get a used nebulizer, you can actually get a smaller bottle of oil. I actually have a smaller one that would fit in there. I wonder if this crow's would fit in there. So there's a smaller bottle that will actually fit in there of essential oils, and you can actually diffuse them. But oh no, that's not going to work. Anyway. It's the same principle. Basically, you just put the glass tip on this, and or I slide it down in there. I did find a tea kettle once that was really cute. It had a glass. It was hand blown, and it had a glass tip, so this was perfect. I just corked the top, put that through, and then it came out the nozzle right there. But this one is if people are coughing and sick, or you're doing a schoolroom or something where you need to diffuse it fast. Like I've taken this to church one time, and I was teaching a class, and I took it into the room beforehand, and I turned it on, and within 10 minutes the room is completely done, because these nebulizers actually really aerate the oils very quickly. So that's the quickest way and the best way and the cheapest way that I have found to actually make your own diffusers. And I like the corks because they're cheap, and you can just drill a hole right in them and then do that. And once this is on in there, you just put that in there. That way you can actually travel if you have a second cork. So say I didn't, I had extra corks, which I actually do in the garage. I have some extras. So all I would have to do if I wanted to travel is take out that one cork, put the new cork on the bottle. I'd put it in a zip baggie or something, and maybe put saran wrap over the top with an elastic is probably what I would actually do. Then put it in one of these baggies for my kids for college, traveling or whatever, and then I wrap this thing like this. I slide this in here just to keep it protected as I travel, and it's going to have a little bit of oil residue on it, so I would slide it in there, wrap this up, put an elastic around it, slide the whole thing in the zip baggie, and then you've got your oils and you've got your diffuser, and you can take it with you on the road to hotel rooms. You can take it to apartments. When you move, it's easy to transport. That way you don't have to dump your oils out. If on this, actually, I would probably, now that I think about it, put saran wrap on the bottom so the cork didn't get the oil seeped into it. So put saran wrap, push this down in there, then put a baggie on top, elastic it, and then put the whole thing in a baggie. I would try and keep the cork from getting oil on it because it will probably eat it away. So that's how I would do it. And I make my own bug diffuser oil. It's this is what we use when we travel for bed bugs and any other thing we might be worried about. I also dump some in my swamp cooler to kill any mold or anything like that. And my recipe for this is on my blog. It's called thesecretisgratitude.com, and you can just type in the search engine at the bottom, bug spray, and this would come up because we take it when we travel. So that's what we call it. It's just my own mix, and it's got it's thieves oil pretty much. It's got cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, rosemary, lemon, and thyme in it, and we use it for everything. And when people come over, they say, "Oh, your house smells like Christmas all the time," and it really does. So if you're doing a whole house, you need it cleaned out. Nebulizers are awesome. If you're doing an apartment, larger room, I mean, you can see this room's pretty large. So if you're doing a larger room, you would turn it on high, get one of these that you can do high. If you're doing a bedroom, you can just turn it down to low. If you are an apartment and you really don't need all that power, you can get the kind that just plugs right into the wall, or a smaller one that you can take with you when you're traveling to like a hotel room. This would be perfect to have in a hotel room because it's not so big that it overpowers you. You don't have to turn it off in the night. I also like that they kind of have a nice humming noise. It's kind of like a, white noise maker, so it kind of just takes away the noise from around you. So anyway, those are the cheapest, best way I have found over the years. I've had probably 20 different diffusers and pumps and over the years. And I don't like the water kind because they put too much moisture in the air. My house is really airtight, and I gave one to my daughter that diffuses in the water, and it always runs out of water, and then it got too moist in her house, and she had condensation and everything, and her apartment owner actually told her she couldn't use it anymore because it was causing too much condensation. So this is the best way that I have found for any house. wet or dry climates to diffuse oils. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it.